All right, everybody. Jeremy Solt here, Kyler at the camera. Welcome to Solt Productions. We're going to try and do a quick information guide for the setup of the B-2. We're going to try and make it quick and snappy because that's how long it should actually be with this airplane. The reason I'm doing that, there's a lot of people that are confused on how to set up your essentially reflex on the airplane, a little bit of nose up attributes for this for the B-2 Spirit. So that being said, we're going to do this real quick, and here we go. Only things you should really need are needle nose pliers and some diagonals. So what I did is I got a ruler, a little flexible ruler, something clear, and I marked off for 8 millimeters. You want to make sure that this point right here, this triangle on both sides, is your reference point for the majority of your adjustments to your elevators and your ailerons that are running together and set up. So starting point. Our recommendation is 8 millimeters up on your elevator. So this is set to 8 millimeters. Putting it right there to look. And I am actually pretty close on that side. So right there in the center of my red line. So now I'm over here on this other side on the plastic, and it is significantly low. So what we're going to do, super simple, with the diagonal cutters, I'm going to pop off my ball joint. I'm going to extend this out until I get 8 millimeters. So right there, you can push it on, and you can get your reference. We are right in the middle of that one too, so we're going to lock that in. There's your 8 millimeters. The ailerons, they have their own setup. It's about 4 millimeters on there, but here's the quickest way to get that done. Just go to your transmitter and hit nose down in your sub trim until these are perfectly even. Okay? So what that should do is that should put these, both your elevators, at exactly that same focal point. Okay? So now what you want to do is you want to make sure your ailerons are also right at that corner. And if they are right at that corner, you should be set up. So make sure you always pull it back up, make it go back to 0. That is your setup, that easy. As far as your drag rudders, remember, you want these to start at 45 millimeters, but yet when you end up directing over, they close, okay? And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip the airplane over. Big airplane here, so that I can access this, okay? All right, so Kyler, come over here so you can actually show it here. I'll set a chair here so you can actually stand up here and look. I'm gonna grab my tools. And what we're gonna do is we need to find out what 45 millimeters is. And that's about 1.5 inches to about 1.75 inches. I'm gonna hurry and I'm gonna mark that in red. On my trusty dusty little tape measure there, or ruler. And so we want to just make sure that we end up focal point off of here. So we need to get the lower, grab the transmitter. We need to get the lower to close. So we know we are already way beyond 1.5 inches. If you look at that, I mean, there's no way, right? We're low, definitely wide. So you want to try and separate these nice and easy. Grab the, well, looking at your linkage. So I've got a little bit there and a lot that I can remove off of there. So we're gonna hopefully separate. We're gonna grab the rod and we're gonna try and extend these out so that they're a little bit even in regards to the amount of threads they have. And then we're gonna see if that brings it in to where we want it. All right, that was the bottom one. I'm gonna reach back here and connect it up. Pop that on. Pop that on. Let's see if that gets close to closing. Nope, there's a little bit more in regards to being tightened. Okay. Okay, try and make sure they're good and even if you can. Watching both the sides. Pop that back on. And look at that, that is almost all the way closed. So I know that's gonna be way too much. So we're gonna wind some of these off. See what we get here. Okay, checking the bottom. See if we're getting the rate we want. Okay, was that closing all the way yet, little dude?
Not all.
Not all the way, so we need to go a little tighter. So it's just the game of cat and mouse and making sure that back and forth until you get it all the way tight to where you want.
It's pretty close. Because that one was off.
See, that's now too much. So just a slight little bit too much again. So we've reached the other side of where we want to be. So we're gonna undo it maybe 2 turns and see what that does. That's gonna be pretty close. We need just maybe one more. So again, the cat and mouse game of back and forth. There's one. Let's see what one does.
Yep.
Okay, there we go. So now let's adjust the other one so that it is about there. So again, I'm grabbing the needle nose on the metallic arm of the linkage so that I'm turning that versus the other ball joints. Okay, so that's pretty close.
That's really close.
Okay, so which one's higher or lower?
This one's higher.
So take a step back a little bit, Kyler. So if you look, you want to absolutely ensure that your line is right here, straight across. Look at that. That's actually pretty good. I'm gonna consider that good. So these don't need to be absolutely exact, but close enough, just like that. If you can see that, that's pretty good. So now, with adjusting that at 0, and my rate on my rudder for my dual rate, that's sitting at 60%. So at 60%, that's my travel. And look at my numbers here. We are pretty dang close to that 45 millimeters. Voila, okay? So now let's go and we adjust the other one real quick. Do the same thing. Here, we'll give you this. So you can stand on it if you need to.
If I need to, but this is a pretty good angle.
All right, so let's adjust this out. And looking at the linkage, I think I can go a little bit with this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Let's see what 5 does. Probably too much. Making sure, and you want to make sure that these linkages right here, Kyler, so you can show that. The black ball joint linkages, you want them to be the exact same. So exactly the same across. So not twisted 45 of it. Not, you know, whatever. They need a mirror image, just like a turnbuckle. Okay, we're clicked there. Oh, I forgot the transmitter. Well, we got a lot more to go on that one, huh? Okay, that's fine. That's what we're doing here. So we pop it off here. We're going to pop it off the other side so we can get a little bit extra turns on there. So now we're doing the opposite side now. Let's see what that does. Okay. Sorry for the long video. This is supposed to be super short, but this is super important to make sure you guys get this down. All right, so I've locked that in. Let's see what we got now. Is that better?
That one, so right.
Still needs just a little bit more.
Yeah.
See that? Because we need to get it right on that edge, right? So maybe one more turn. Let's see what we get.
Probably one more, yeah.
There's a half. Let's see what a half does. we go. That's going to be pretty close, right?
Actually,
Now let's adjust this bottom one.
This side's aligned.
Yeah, it should be aligned on this side.
So
Perfect. Okay, let's take this other ball joint off. And let's start cranking them tight. Pull that off. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on that side. And let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 on that side. Making sure they're perfectly straight. And then we're going to click it on. And click it on this side. Ooh, just a little bit tighter now.
a little tighter.
We're close. We're close. We're almost done, guys. Thanks for being patient with us. But again, hopefully this helps helps you guys get this right. All right, making sure that they're even again. All right, here's a perfect example. So take a step back, Kyler. If you look right here, do you see how this isn't even?
That is way.
That means I need to extend out the top one and I need to extend in the other one. But I think that that's actually pushing it. So we're going to loosen that top one again because I got too much on there. But that is a perfect example of how it's not even. And that's, you know, this is a perfect time to explain how you got to resolve that.
That's
all right. So
pretty close, almost like one.
I think we're pretty close. I think that I'm going to bring the other one more half turn. Get this straight again, just a little bit off. All right. Okay, let's see what that is. There's flat, but if you look,
it's not
somehow
flat.
It's not even over here. See how that's still hanging out?
You made this one.
I made it too much, this one and that one. So now we gotta back it off again. So we gotta back off the top. Oh, I'm sorry for this. All right, so we'll extend this one out a half turn. And we will compress the other one by a half turn. So once you get them to where they're tight, the manipulating or directional shifting that you need to do with it should be fairly easy. And that's it. So when you have to walk it where you got to walk it, you tighten one and you loosen the other, and eventually it walks the direction it needs to go. All right.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So again, the reason why this looks like that is because of the reflex that's added already in the airplane. So we're going to flip it back over. We're going to show how it should look. All in all. All right, let's put this down. All right, here you go. This is the way it should look. You got left, you got right. You see how they're closing? Closing, closing, closing. Right? That's how it's sitting. Then you've got nose up, nose down, left, and right. And again, if you end up making these level, your aileron should also be level on there. So here we go. We're going to trim nose down. That's level, and that's level. That is how you know that these are in sync like they should. Again for this side, same. In sync. This needs to probably go up just a little bit, but it's going to be fine. The gyro is going to compensate for any of these little differences like that. So you don't need to be exactly perfect. Enjoy your flight. But anyway, here you go. So again, make sure you take it back to 0. And there's your setup. So, quick way to do it. There you go. There's your example. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. And hopefully we solved any kind of questions you got. Thanks again. Kyler, thank you for doing your camera. And check us out on Soul Productions for a lot more videos and instructions and help with what we can do with these and other airplanes. So, thanks again.